Hello. So if you're on this video for any other reason other than the title, I'm just gonna explain it to you if the title didn't already tell you, and the description for that matter. Today we're gonna be talking about good choices for beginning and middle tier armor, because that's where I'm up to. So let's just throw on this armor so we can do some ADHD circles while we talk. Anyways, so our first armor set that we're going to be talking about today is a simple set. Most people say to go for something like the Rosetta armor, and I will get to the Rosetta armor, but I'm going to start with the armor set that I began with on this file, because this is a new account of Minecraft that I personally own. It's not a shared account between me and my brother. So that yeah. The leaflet armor is actually pretty decent for early game. Let's just come over here. Let's find the chest plate. It's made out of oak leaves, and if you have shears, you can actually break the leaves of only these trees in this forest for some reason. Those trees in the other forest you cannot break, but we don't need those leaves, right? We don't need them. Who needs them, right? First off, let's talk about why you need armor. The deep caverns, the graveyard, and the spider's den are going to be the three main areas that you're going to be wanting armor to get into. Alright? And what's better than armor that's actually fairly decent for that? So how the leaflet armor works is it's cheap. You get it at, let me just check here, Oakwood 3, which is going to take the longest to get to off what I think, if I'm just talking on collections, but it's actually pretty decent. The armor gives you health for per piece that you have on. That's 15 plus 30, which is 45, plus 35, which is 80, and then another 20. So the full set would give you an extra 100 HP, which at the beginning, 200 HP is crazy good. And the set bonus of 5 health regen every second, but in the forest zone is kind of meh. But we're not here for the set bonus like we might for other sets that I'll be talking about for beginner. We're here for the health, and you can put things like proc or growth on it, but as an early player you're not going to be looking at enchantments. You're going to be looking at just base stats, because enchantments are very costly, and you won't have access to places like the end where experience bottles are just everywhere for you to just run up and think, oh yeah, I want to put sharpness on my sword. You can't just run up and do that. You gotta grind for it, and that's the entire point of this game. If you don't like to grind, this is not the game for you. What are you doing here? Anyways, most people would say go towards the Rosetta starting gear. You can get the iron armor, which has growth 1 on it. This is fairly decent. I do suggest getting this. It's cheap. That's $20, $30, $25. That's not even $100 if I'm doing my math correct, and I'm not even doing math, I'm just guessing. Most people say go for Rosetta's armor, which is made out of diamonds, but it's more costly, around $4,000, and for early game, 4K is a lot. Ignore that. But I do suggest going for either this iron set of armor from Rosetta, the leaflet armor, or the pumpkin armor. Yeah, you heard me right. Pumpkin armor. You can just I do think it would be a bit fun to just sit here and grind pumpkins for an hour, but unlike the leaflet armor, you're not grinding to collection 3, you're grinding to collection 2. We just go here. At number 1 you get pumpkin minion, and then you get the pumpkin armor. which is just simple armor with proc on it. To get to it, you only need 100 pumpkins, which is simple if you have like a stone or iron axe. And it's not that costly, with only needing 1 pumpkin in each slot, as if it were a piece of diamond or whatever. You just do this and boom. But remember, you can't just look up the recipe and be like, alright, so I know the recipe, I can just do that. No, you have to get the collection first. You have to get the recipe. It's not the AH here, bro. So I do suggest it because it is practically just protection 1 on your full armor. But at the same time, you can just get that with the iron set from the Rosetta. But it's either you can spend around $100 to get armor with growth on it, or you can just spend some time here grinding your way up just to look a little bit cooler. Yeah, that sounded not fun. Or the other one in this area, this is all in the same server by the way, you won't have to change servers to this area. These. And that looks terrifying. These. Just cactus. Now, cactus is actually really good for you. Not in real life, in the game. And number 2, you get the cactus armor, which the full set bonus, which undermining the base stats, which are actually really decent. It's fawns, which is funny and pretty obvious. It gives you fawns, rebounding 33% of the damage, except it's better than fawns. But you don't get the same shit you would get as on a piece of dragon armor, where if I just have fawns free, it's a 50% chance to only rebound 9% of the damage that I've been dealt. For the cactus armor, it's a definite activation, and it's 33% of the damage, which is really good. And like I said, you only really need to mine like 250 cactus to get here, and just like the pumpkins, it's just a piece of cactus. If you're wondering why I have smelting touch. But yeah, cactus armor is a really good substitute for something like leaflet or pumpkin armor. I don't know, a lot of people tell you that like the simple grey collection armors are not decent. Your early game, bro, you're not going to be getting dragon armor off rip. Okay? Just accept that, and accept that this is going to be good. Alright, so the next armor I'm going to suggest is going to be the armor that this guy sells right here. Now, you can get one from the Gold Forger, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same, if not just a little bit worse for cheaper. Yeah. At the same time. Anyways, let me say my point. I suggest either the chainmail armor that the Iron Forger sells, or the golden armor that the Gold Forger sells, because they both come with growth 1 and proc 1 on the entire set. The only difference between the two is that the golden set is cheaper to obtain than the chainmail. Let's just do the math here. That's 20, that's 18, 38, 32, that's 38 plus, that's 60, that'd be 70, and that would be 98 coins for this entire set of armor, or 275 coins for just a little better across the street. It's all up to you. I'm not forcing you to do anything here. Also, for some reason, there's a lot of people here. I think it's because of the Easter event thing that's happening. But yeah, I do suggest these sets of armors next for early game. Okay, so for the next suit of armor, you'd want to be in the deep caverns by now. With either of those sets of armor that I've shown, you would be able to be entirely fine in this gunpowder mines, considering the creepy little creepers, which I think I saw once, like 3 years ago. Won't really do much for you. But if you just come down here to the, let's see if it will tell us the name, the Lapis Quarry, this is where your armor is going to be helping you, and where you're going to be working to replace it. Alright. This is a Lapis zombie, as you can probably tell right now. Its armor is what we are most specifically talking about. He wanted to die. You have a chance for that armor to drop when killing it. This chance can be boosted with enchantments such as Luck 5, which is specifically for armor, or Looting 3, which is just for any type of loot. On bows, this would be called Chance, and it can only go up to 3 through an enchanting table, that is. And just so you know, I have all these. I kill like zealots, man, in one shot, and not kidding, it still takes me like a good 30 minutes to get a whole set. And I have a Grandma Wolf, which boosts crit chance on a combo. I mean, not crit chance, like luck chance and shit. Is he wearing it? Yes, sir. He is a good boy. Be like him. I don't have enough now. Be like him. Be a good boy. Anyways. This armor is actually going to be pretty good for you, and if you don't want to sit around, or you've been sitting around for ages, it's not even a, yeah, that's not even the thing. You don't want to be sitting around for ages, waiting to get it, you can go to the auction house. And this would be the part of the video that I do cut to me standing in the auction house saying that. But the auction house has been disabled because of Derpy. And by the time I've uploaded this video, Derpy would probably be out of office, because I'm going to spend all night editing this video just to not upload it for a week, because I forgot. But, you know, who cares? But basically, Derpy deactivates auction house and doubles mob health. His name is Derpy, what do you expect from him? That's why you might see 400 here, but when you go to play the game in this area, it would normally say 200. That's just because of that, man. We're getting a new one, we swear. Anyways, so the Lapis armor would be a good shot, and you can. Did he just get a bowler? Anyways, it'll be pretty good for you to, you know, just go to the AH. It's pretty cost effective, I'd say, and decent. Alright, now I'm here. So, miner armor is only if you're really going to be dedicated and wanting to be sitting in the mine for ages. I don't specifically suggest going to the AH to buy miner armor, because I don't think it's worth your very delicate and very reasonably spread money. To, you know, buy miner armor. If you're lucky enough, the people in the mines are normally the nicest people you ever find on Skyblock, and they'll just give you it. Also, these guys, it says 9% chance. I doubt that. This is more common to get than Lapis armor. Like, look, how do I already have this, man? Miner armor is only if you really want to be sitting here in the mines doing nothing but mining, and you want that set bonus. Otherwise, I don't suggest it. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, so anything that's just any piece of armor that's specifically catered towards a certain area is only good in that area, and it should be some sort of secondary armor. Kind of like how this young dragon armor I have on is a secondary set of armor, and my main one is strong. You're wrong. And I'll get to that in a second. But there's 2 more sets of armors I need to talk about. Welcome to the Obsidian Sanctuary. I'm only here to not reuse a scene. So, I'm not actually here to talk about how killing these guys drops miner armor with enchantments already on it, or how you can get blocks of diamonds which gives you more, or so on and so forth. We're going to be specifically talking about going to into the collection of diamonds. In Diamond 7, after collecting 10,000 diamonds, you get hardened diamond armor, which is really good defense, as you can see here. You can go into the AH for it, with the cost of a pretty sizable hole in your wallet.
I live in the shadows. I'm Batman.
We're in the end now. And before I talk about the armor, which I think you definitely know what's coming. This guy wants to throw hands? Oh, you want to throw hands? You want to throw hands? That's crazy. Anyways. There is a piece of armor that I did forget about that I'm just going to throw in now. Glaciate armor. Glaciate armor, however you want to say it, is actually pretty decent and can carry you throughout the end. I do suggest either taking glaciate, hardened diamond, or lapis armor to be grinding your first enderman in the end, because they're fairly strong. I do suggest, however, going to the AH with glaciate, or actually going to the killing glaciate walkers, but it's gonna put more of a dent in your wallet, costing you upwards of 100k. But you know, the entire point of this game is grinding money just to waste it on slightly better stuff. Enderman. Early days in the end, you will be struggling to find ender armor. But after you find it and actually reliably start killing enderman, you'll see it drops way more often. So I saved a piece of ender boots from earlier, so I can show you what it is like. Ooh. What's he doing? Anyways. Ender armor. It's not a set bonus. That's the good part. It's not a set bonus, so you don't have to like wear the entire thing. It's just the item specifically. So you can have like hardened diamond plus end of armor and like mix and match. It'd be great. So here's the side effect of ender armor. This item can be reforged. Co-op soulbound. Quick little explanation here. A soulbound means that it can only belong to one player at a time. Like a single soulbound item means you can't give it to anyone, regardless of anything. You can only trade it into an NPC to sell it for the little amount of coins it's worth. A co-op soulbound means you can only give it to people that are co-op on your profile. And that's about it. You can't trade it to anyone that isn't in your co-op, and you can't put it on the auction house. So what can you do with this, because you're inevitably going to be getting a lot? Well, I suggest with leftover pieces of ender armor or ender armor set items, either coming down to here and sacrificing anything you have on the draconic altar with a chance to get some stuff such as a summoning eye or enchanted eyes of ender, which can give you a profit, or you can go directly to an NPC on the hub island and sell it to them for 10k a piece, which is actually pretty decent. Also, I just said anything from the set, so here's something special. There's stuff called accessories. There's necklaces, cloaks, belts, and gauntlets. And they're actually pretty decent. So how do you get these extra pieces that add up to an 8-piece set? Just for heads up, I had 2 sets of dragon armor before completing the set of Ender. That's how long it took me. And the last piece I was looking for was the damn belt. Anyways, as soon as you enter the end, you'd want to be looking for these. These are called ender nodes. They can grant you stuff like enchanted endstone, enemies, which I will talk about these guys in maybe a later video when I'm talking about profits and how to really get good cash or whatever. And you can get a lot of stuff. You can even get stuff that you can sell to the bazaar for like a lot of cash. Like Titanic enchanting bottles, which can give you like upwards of 200 XP, but can be sold for 500,000 to the BZ. Or grand experience bottles, which personally I suggest keeping and using on yourself to enchant any pieces of armor or equipment you might have. Now that we've finished with Ender, and I do suggest going for the entire Ender set if possible, but if it's not plausible to wait, well, I do have another suggestion that's still in the end. And just for a heads up, I've been wearing it this entire time, and we've even been here just a second ago when I was talking about the altar. Dragon Armor. Dragon Armor is going to be really good, and it's going to be the last pieces of armor that I'm going to be talking about in this video. But most specifically, what Dragon Armor are you going to be looking for? Because, like, technically, any piece of Dragon Armor is strong. I'm not going to deny it. I'd much rather Wise Dragon Armor over Glayside Armor. But what does that mean? What armor should I be looking for as a new player? Well, really depends on your bank account. I know I'm sounding like a doctor from the US right now, but what's your insurance, kid? Because you're going to be needing to pay a lot of cash. If you're just looking for combat, like you want to kill zealots, I suggest Unstable. And it was my first piece of Dragon Armor as well. And I happened to craft 3 pieces before ending up buying the boots for it. Yeah, I know. Too many dragons and too much freeloading. Just to buy the pieces anyways from the bazaar. Oh, not the bazaar, the auction house. Oh, let me step back there, it look nicer back here. There we go. Yeah. So I do suggest Unstable Armor for combat if you're looking for more like a wanting to go fast. Young Dragon Armor, which I personally still have around and carry on me for when I'm doing stuff like foraging or anything that doesn't need combat, because it's not gonna do as much for me as my strong Dragon Armor. Oh, and I'm not even at the strongest armor yet. Old and Wise I don't specifically suggest getting, because it's entirely just for mana, which, yeah, cool and all, but like, if you really want mana, just get Wise on Young Dragon Armor, and you can have like upwards of 600 mana on you at all times, including the extra speed that Wise gives armor, but which is 2%. But this, do you know the armor you're wearing? But yeah, Wise would give you the most intelligence as well as pretty fair speeds. So, let's say you've got a bit of a bigger budget and you're a bit more ballin'. I suggest going for Strong Dragon Armor. It boosts the damage of the aspect of the end, which is this sword, and it's fairly decent. I do suggest going for it, and by going for it I mean buying it off the auction house, because let me just see if I can find it. Oh, yep, there it is. That's how much it costs to craft it. That's 2 stacks, by the way. 2 stacks of those, 1 enchanted diamond for that sword, which is pretty decent, and it allows you to teleport like this, using up 50 mana. So it is a decent pair of armor. Oh shit. And I do suggest it. The strong armor, that is. The sword, I'll go into weapons in a different video, but strong Dragon Armor I do suggest. Now, if you have like $100 million in your bank, you're ballin' and you think, I want to be the strongest I can in this game, I don't care how much it costs. Well, I'd suggest Superior Dragon Armor. And I don't even have that yet, so you know that shit's good. And it has superior in the name. It's supreme. It's it. He's him. That's it. It is a really good set of armor. I would 100% suggest it. It is literally the strongest you can get, but at the same time, superior is the rarest dragon you can find. So buying the fragments from the BZ is going to cost you a hefty hole in your wallet. God, a hefty hole in your bucket, or buying it from the auction house is also going to hit you like a freight train speeding towards a toddler on the tracks. Okay, so I may have lied. I said that the dragon armor are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna finish on. I'm gonna say something about them, and then I'm gonna leave, right? I said that. I lied. Because I'm gonna be talking about the next pair of armor that I'm personally going for, which, you might, I don't know, just want to go for before going for the superior dragon armor, because, you know, just off pricing. The assassin armor. The shadow assassin armor, to be specific. Don't abbreviate it. That's not something you want to say. Let's say someone, hey, do you have SA? Because that can trigger PTSD for certain people. If you don't know, look it up. And if you're too innocent, don't look it up. Anyways, Shadow Assassin is pretty decent. But the reason I'm in the dungeon hub for it is because you need to do dungeons to find it. And I know what you're thinking, bro, I don't want to do dungeons. I have no friends that play this game. Just ask in the hub if someone can carry you through like 2 or 3 floors of the dungeons. There is certainly going to be a level 300 MVP++ carrier to just, what was that noise? Carrier who's just going to plow through them for you. And all they're going to say is, please don't die. And they're going to be really they're going to be nice. Trust me. Asking for help is always something that you should try. Just ask for help with dungeons if you don't have friends that play the game, and you know, just game away, have fun. Alright, so we've gone through every armor piece that I can think of for early to mid game. So yeah, you can click off the video now. I really do appreciate everything of watching the video, commenting if you have or are going to. Like seriously, if I miss anything or you think I should include anything in my videos, tell me. I'd love to hear feedback from people. And if I've enraged someone because I've left out their certain favorite piece of side armor that they think is best for early game, say it in the comments. Make a discussion. That's what this entire game is. It's built off forms to begin with. So yeah. Muck around, have fun, but most importantly, don't forget, you're still playing a prison server.